Hello, it's me, that Divination witch. I hope you're all doing well. I'm back with a witchy video, and today is another in my series of different deities and spirits that I've met over the years. I have been talking a lot more about deities. I haven't spoke as much about spirits and spirit guides that I've met. This gentleman that has came through for somebody today is somebody's spirit guide, and he's given me permission to speak about him. I asked him, I felt I wanted to share this with you guys because meeting him, it's truly blown my mind. I'm like, wow. So, yes, let's talk about him and the experience. This is Michael. If you're new here, hello, I'm Sarah, I'm that Divination Witch. I hope you stick around. This is a safe space where I share what I know, experiences I've had, and I encourage people to ask questions. Don't feel afraid. No questions silly. Everyone's got to start somewhere. So ask away. I'm happy to help as best I can. And I encourage people to help one another in the comments too. So yes, feel free to ask questions. And I do hope you stick around because this is a safe space for people to learn. If you want to support the channel further, I do have a link tree. It's just below. I do readings for people. I'm teaching tarot at the moment. I've got an Etsy, Patreon, memberships, a website, all sorts. So anything I get from there does go back into the channel, improving things. So yeah, I'd be grateful if you could check it out. Thank you. Over the years, I do speak with people, spirit guides. It's not just deities. It's not just, beings that basically we all know. Even when it comes to deities, I'm often learning things when I do these readings. I learn about parts of the world I had no idea existed, even, and cultures and time periods that I'm like, what? Because when I say I confirm deities, and what I see deities as, they are archetypes. So, if you look at any pantheon in the world, you've always got a love god and a love goddess, a war god, a god of the home, one in charge. They are archetypes, and the face we are presented with spiritually is who we need. That's how I see deities. And they are wonderful and magnificent. And yes, I get to learn a lot doing this job, doing what I do, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I do this. And it's no exception when I speak about people's spirits as well, because us as humans, we do have a lot of guides that guide us in life, spirit guides. And yes, some of them can be deities, some of them can be angels, some of them can be otherworldly creatures and beings. There's things out there that are beyond your wildest imagination, like dragons and the fae and aliens, like starseed sort of things, and even animal guides. It doesn't always have to be a mythological being. But when it comes to spirit guides, they're not always something supernatural. Sometimes our spirit guides can be humans like you and me, and can have lived lives like you and me. And this reading blew my mind, but also helped me learn more about spirit guides, not just the history of the world and my abilities, because it was sort of confirmation of holy crap, I've managed to do this. But what the other side is like and could be like for anyone, I suppose. So with the spirit guide readings, they are often spirit led, meaning that I open myself up to them. So when I do any reading, I focus on a person and their energy. So if you are a customer of mine, I look at your name. It always helps to have your full name at the minimum. And I kind of meditate on your energy, I suppose. That's the way of putting it. I focus and concentrate on your energy. And that's the same for any reading, and what comes through, or who comes through. And when it comes to spirit guide confirmations, I focus on a person's energy and I let spirit show me what I need to see and hear, etc. Here, I did say here, didn't I? My words went a bit funny. So, when it comes to spirit guide readings, I let the spirit themselves come forth and show me what I need to see and hear. I do have clairvoyance and clairaudience mainly, sometimes clairsentience. The best way to describe it to you guys is like a little movie in your head. When I first started opening up to my spiritual gifts, I used to think this is my imagination. Holy crap, like this can't be real. And all it is, it's pretty real. That's what mediums do and psychics do and clairvoyants do. Spirit puts snippets of things in my head. I might see a scene unfold in my head. I might see an image. I might hear something. It's not playing out exactly like a movie, as in, the whole plot of a movie. It's just snippets. So I might see, I don't know, the Rocky Mountains or something. That was a different reading I did. I saw mountains, or I might see the seaside. I might hear the waves or seagulls, hear the wind, feel grass, like the sensation of walking on grass barefoot. Could be, it's just like snippets of things is what I'm trying to say. This isn't this particular reading. I'm just giving you examples as to how it comes to you. And sometimes I can hear words clear. And especially when it comes to deities, I'm like, what's that? Mr. Google helps. So today, this spirit guide, we're calling him Michael. He gave me his full name. When he first came through, I'll talk you through the process. What I saw, I thought, oh, it's a cowboy. That's what I thought. Me being a white British woman who only knows the basics of American history. I don't know everything, just the basics over here. And that's what I learned myself. I thought he was like a cowboy, basically. But no, it was like someone stepping forward. It's like when your camera is blurry and someone's getting closer and it becomes more focused. That's what it was like. So he became more focused, and I saw that actually, no, he's not a cowboy. He was wearing like a grey hat, and he did look tired and a bit washed out. And when he came into focus, I recognised that this was a soldier of some sort. And I remembered off movies, actually it was True Blood in my head. I love True Blood, and Bill Compton was the main character. He was a Confederate soldier. I recognised the spirit was also a Confederate soldier. So I knew enough of the American Civil War to know that, well, that's dodgy. Not as in the guy's dodgy, but history. I've got to be careful what I say and respectful. It's YouTube, after all. But back then, it was a different time and era, 1800s. And people weren't treated very well. Let's just say it like that. There were people that were not treated like they were human beings. You'll know what I'm alluding to. So this man, he fought for the Confederate Army, which is the southern states, and he didn't treat people the best all the time. Let's just put it like that. He had people that he commanded in life and in the army. He was an officer, and there were people he forced to fight with him and for him. And this guy came through as a spirit guide, and I was always under the illusion that spirit guides must know everything, like even if they're human beings, that they must be enlightened, and you would never get a bad spirit guide, because you don't. Even this guy isn't bad, just saying that. A spirit guide will never tell you bad things, will never tell you to hurt yourself or hurt other people, things like this. That is a negative entity, more than likely what I call tricksters, posing as your spirit guide. So if you ever experience that, big red flags. Your spirit guides are there for you to help you, to guide you, to protect you. So this man, he is protecting my customer. And yes, when he came through, that's what he was like. And I felt his feelings of guilt, big feelings of guilt and regret. And it's the first time I've encountered a spirit guide that still has regrets. And he explained to me, and he explained in the reading, because it was personal to this person, that he didn't want to come across in the wrong way. So he's trusted me to convey him in the right way. That yes, he loves his person, he's protecting them, has done their whole life, and still will, even if they don't want to know him. He knows he did wrong. He knows the time period he was from was effed up. And even though he was a soldier in the army, he himself had a little choice, and he thought he was doing the right thing. He sees better now in the way that the world has evolved since then. And on the other side, him being a guide is atonement in a way. And it kind of makes sense to me. I didn't see spirit guides like that. But it would make sense that some, it's like, well, you can help others with their lessons too, if maybe you're not ready to reincarnate or whatever happens on the other side. Because this is my UPG, of course. My personal belief is when you pass over, there is a time period of kind of waiting. Kind of the grief works on both sides. That's in my experience of speaking with people's lost loved ones and my own as well, who, have passed on not too long ago. The grief works both sides. They miss us too. And it's a transition. It's like, oh, I'm not alive anymore. What the heck? So there's a period of getting used to it. And then there's a life review, because we've all got lessons to learn. They might be unique to us, but we review what we've done and what we haven't done and whatever we need to do. And I do believe there is a period of either, I suppose you could call it suffering or peace. So depending on what you did in life, if you were not a nice person, you have to make up for that. Some more than others. If you were a lovely person, well, you might get some chill out time. Let's just say that. Christians, Abrahamic religions may call that heaven and hell. I don't believe that people go unpunished on the other side. I do believe there's some sort of divine retribution there, but we as humans aren't the ones to judge that, of what's good and bad. So you just got to try and be honest and as good as possible in life, I suppose. Most people are good, really, but nobody's perfect. And yes, certainly, most definitely, this guy was not perfect, but he was a product of the time period. I'm not excusing what happened, and neither is he at all. But he was a product of his time period, and it does feel like there's some, level of atonement that he's going through, helping others. And he told me a bit about his life aside from that. He said where he was from. He was from Gary in West Virginia. And I had no clue about West Virginia being a Confederate state or whatever. And I had to look it up after. So this little tiny place called Gary in West Virginia is where he was from. And back in the day, it was just called Virginia. And Virginia was like, I suppose, a swing state. Is that what you might call it? I don't know. But in the Civil War times, they had a lot of Confederate soldiers there, but also Unionists there. So it wasn't just wholly one or the other, but there was a big Confederate stronghold there. This is what I've just researched after speaking with him. And their capital was called Richmond, which was like 2 minutes away. Well, not literally, 45 minutes away from Gary. And I'm like, and he's saying that that's where he passed on. He died in a battle, basically. War wounds, and there's just incredible sadness, guilt, suffering there. And so I asked him, it was blowing my mind, because I'm like, how the heck did I know this? Because when he came through, like I said at the beginning, I could see him, and to be honest, I could see some gentlemen behind him who were the people he forced to fight, let's say. And I felt his guilt and everything. And he showed me like this little church, this chapel looking place. And then I heard his full name. He gave me his full name. And then he said Gary. He kept saying Gary, and I didn't even know that was a place. I've heard of Gary, Indiana. I'm sure Michael Jackson's from there, which he's not Michael Jackson, by the way. This guy, Michael, was a middle name of his, and he wants to go by Michael now. Uh, Anyways, yes, just all these random things linked together, and I've just had a moment of being like, holy shit. Me, this woman from England, just an average person, has figured this out. And I just can't explain it otherwise. I guess I had rudimentary knowledge of the American Civil War, but not that much knowledge. How the heck did I know this? It just blows my mind even now, even though I've done this for years for people. I'm still like, wow, when I channel spirits, when I get these messages, I'm just so honoured. And so I asked him, can I share your story in speaking with you? And I told him about the YouTube. He vaguely knows what it is. And I said what my intention is, that I do try and help people and educate and share what I know, and I'm up for learning myself as well. But the reason I'm sharing this is to share with you guys that not every spirit guide is perfect. Not everyone is perfect, and sometimes our guides may be learning too. We may be helping them just as much as they are helping us. We are important. That's what I'm trying to say. There are other experiences I've had in the past with guides, especially ones that sound far-fetched as heck, because even I would have thought once upon a time, what on earth? It's a video for another day, but the dragon spirits are very real in a spiritual way. And the dragons that I've encountered, they're not all wise beings. They're not all, elder, wise, spiritual, ancient, powerful dragons, which you would see in like mythology. Some of them are younger than us. Some of them are like babies just learning, basically. And that just goes to show in spiritual evolution that you could be on Earth as a human for whatever reason, whether that is through choice, through reincarnation or not, but you could be helping people in ways you don't even know. And you may even know more than them, uh, in some ways. I'm not saying every way, because I do believe the spiritual realm holds way more knowledge and anything that we could ever possibly understand. And it's not just because we've been controlled or whatever on this earth. And it's not just a low vibration thing. It's more our human existence, our human minds. We couldn't comprehend half the stuff that exists and is out there in the world. It would just blow our minds. It really would. So, yeah, I just wanted to share the story because I'm learning too. This is something I've just learned literally today at time of filming, not long before. And it's fresh in my mind. I wanted to share the story that, wow, spirit guides aren't always enlightened. They are also learning things. The more you know. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. That's the story of Michael from Gary, West Virginia. So if there's anything else you want me to talk about, if there's any deities, spirits, anything you're interested in, let me know. I do have a huge list, but sometimes things like this happens and it gets put to the front. I just wanted to share the story of him. He was an amazing guy to meet. He's helped me learn something new. Also, my eye is itching so much. This makeup's hurt my eye. But yeah, he's helped me learn something new as well. And I've got no ties to West Virginia. Not that I'm aware of. Uh, yeah. And I think we're all capable of growth and learning, even if we are a product of our upbringing, I think that's another lesson to learn just quickly. Even if we are a product of, the society we're born into, there's hope for us yet. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, until next time, stay safe, take care, stay witchy. Oh my god, I forgot my catchphrase. Oh, until next time, stay safe, stay witchy. Oh my word, my mind's just blown that much. I'm like, oh, stay away. All right, bye everyone, bye.